Christiane Amanpour has been an inspiration and a role model for me for many years. How many of you know who she is? About half of you. She is the lead international correspondent for CNN. I first became aware of her back in the mid-'80s when she was covering the Bosnian conflict. I was so impressed with this woman with a hard hat and a flak jacket on the front line of the conflict, reporting with grace, literally under fire. Imagine my surprise when researching her for today's talk, I found out that she's the same age that I am, and I wanted to be her when I grew up. She is probably the most decorated journalist in history. She has had 11 Emmy Awards, 4 Peabody Awards, the Edward R. Murrow Award, the Burstang Memorial Award, which is for journalism with courage. And she has absolutely exemplified that, along with a long list of other awards and accolades. Christiane is the daughter of an Iranian Muslim father and a British Catholic mother. She spent her early years in Tehran, and then at age 11, she was sent off to boarding school, a Catholic boarding school in Britain, where she graduated from high school. She then emigrated to the United States and did her journalism degree at the University of Rhode Island. Immediately afterwards, she got a job at a local radio station, and then she applied for an entry-level assistant position at a brand new news organization based out of Atlanta. She got a job with CNN, which had only been around for 3 years at that point. Shortly after joining, there was an opening on the international correspondence desk, and she took it. However, CNN was very reluctant to put her on the air because she had dark hair and an accent. Her first assignment and big break was to cover her home country of Iran. And then, after covering the Bosnian conflict, it cemented her reputation as being a world-class journalist. She later recounted that going into that conflict, her and the other journalists were very much pressured to show this as only an ethnic conflict that goes back in time forever. Both sides equally matched, let them work it out. The international community doesn't want to get involved. However, when she arrived, she felt that there was a clear aggressor and a clear victim in this conflict. And she was criticized for taking sides in the Bosnian War with the Bosnian Muslims. She showed and portrayed the genocide and how entire villages were being massacred. And she said that she would always stand for truthfulness, not neutralness. And she became well known after that. Christiane has interviewed nearly every world leader that has been in the last 30 years, some of them pretty heinous and notorious. She interviewed Saddam Hussein on more than one occasion and was there at his trial. She was the last journalist to interview Mubarak, who was the leader of Egypt, and Gaddafi, the leader of Libya, before both of them fell from power. She has been to every hot spot around the world: Somalia, Rwanda, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Palestine, Israel, the Balkans. If there's a conflict, she's been there. She is an amazing individual. I think this is probably, because of her globe-trotting ways, the reason that she did not marry until quite late in life. She was 40 when she married former Assistant Secretary of State James Rubin, and then a couple of years later, they had a son, Darius, who's now 17. She, a couple of years ago with her family, moved back to London and is now reporting for CNN from the London Bureau, and they plan to stay there. She did not always stay with CNN, however. A few years ago, she was wooed away when her contract was up by ABC, and she hosted 60 Minutes and did some other reporting for that news agency. They had a change of presidents, however, and the new president was not a fan. So she went back to CNN. Because of these reasons, I find her to be incredibly inspirational. If you take a stand on things, there will be conflict. You will not be loved by everyone. And how you handle that conflict and handle it with grace and perseverance is a mark of one's character. And her courage, literally under fire, is the reason that I really want to be her when I grow up. And once again, who is your inspiration? Thank you.